My heart stops beating. I feel like I'm not breathing. I'm giving full disclosure.
Here we go. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. This is only like my third, fourth, something like that video. So there's probably not a lot of new or not a lot of returning people, but hi, welcome. My name's Brianna. Here we are again in a different location. I was in my room. I just keep moving more towards the front of my apartment, but there's really nowhere left to go. That's it, guys. This is really my entire apartment. It's so small. I've got a little ensemble going for us today with a nice free background. Free, yes, the word free. And then you get to see my nice little bookshelf. I wanted to stand up for this one because it's going to be a long one, and I sit constantly at my job. So your girl needs to stand up. I need to be doing some moving around. You need to see the facial expressions. You need to see the stun. Okay? Season 1 might not be as crazy, and I've been watching, I think I'm on season 7 right now, not note-taking wise. I've been watching it now to fall asleep, so now I have to go back, and note-taking wise, I finished season 2. Did I ever say what we were talking about? I did not say what we were talking about. Degrassi. This is a Degrassi video, finally, because, that was like a month ago that I said I was probably going to do it, and here we are, me finally recording it. So, Degrassi. I'm done with season 1, ready to talk about it. And before I said I didn't know how structured I wanted it to be, it's going to be in depth. So the way that I'm going to structure this is I'm going to be putting little snippets of videos throughout. I'm going to talk episode by episode, boom, go through everything. I'm going to give you the main characters. I'll even place their pictures right here. So whenever I'm saying their names, you can have your little face to what I'm saying. And then after that, I'm going to go through dance moms pyramid style wise and go through my favorite characters. The first season, I have 12 main characters. And, if you're a Degrassi person, you'll know by season, I'm watching season 7 now, there's like 27 main characters. Kind of over-exaggerating, kind of not. So it'll get more difficult. Season 1 was just a little teaser for me and to let me know how much work is ahead of me. So then we're going to go through that. And then we're going to go through my favorite couples. And, like I said, season 1 is just a little teaser because there's about 3 couples in season 1. And by season 7, there's like 100. Next Generation. I also have to clarify that. Next Generation. And you know what? When I'm done with Next Generation, I really thought about it hard. And I don't know why I've been not wanting to watch Junior High, but your girl needs to watch Junior High or Degrassi, the Degrassi High. Is that... I'm doing a whole lot of motion, sorry. Yeah, so I need to go through and actually watch that because you know what? Now that I think about it, those adult stories, when I was younger, I didn't think that the adult stories were all that interesting. Those adult stories are interesting. I need to see what their backstories are because at one point, Spike says that she's been in love with Snake and people. Those are people. Spike's been in love with Snake since they were in high school. So I want to know how that started and I want to know why that didn't happen in high school and I want to know kind of who they were. Before I start, I know, I'm sorry, I'm saying a whole lot of before I start. These part 1 and part 2s, they're not very common in the first few seasons, but once we get to like soap opera style where there's like 40 episodes in one season instead of like the 15, 20 that they were doing before, then it starts to do a whole lot of part 1 and part 2s. Episode 1, Mother and Child Reunion, part 1. Okay, so you open with young Emma Nelson and Manny Santos. Here they are, boom, boom, young ones. They're around the computer and Manny's reading a love email from Jordan to Emma, signed Love You Jordan at the end. So super adorbs, right? You see Caitlin on the cover of a magazine. Emma's a fan. You hear and see Emma's mom, and I mentioned her. Her name is Spike. That was her nickname growing up, and so she just stuck with that. Imagine if I would have stuck with my nickname growing up. Let's see. My middle school nickname was Kit Kat. Yeah, like the candy. Okay, so you hear Emma's mom, Spike, call her and mention JT. Boom, I gave you another main character. So far, I'm not going to count Spike as a main character this season because she's not. But Emma, Manny, and JT, all main characters. You find out it's been 10 years since Emma's mom graduated from high school, and Emma's 12. So you do the math there with the school. JT's waiting for them, and he helps carry boxes into the school for, like I said, their 10-year reunion that they keep mentioning. Wait, 10? Okay, so hold on. Let's do the math real quick. So 10-year reunion, that's going to be next year for me, because I'm 27 years old, and I do not look like this woman, this man, or this man. Emma is portrayed as a environmentalist. We find out that Jordan lives in Yellowknife, which I'm sure you know in Canada, but it's a place. JT falls with boxes in his hands. We go to Joey at the car lot that he owns, and he is also one of those previous generations, and he's selling Lucy a car, and Lucy is also from the previous generation. Joey has a kindergartner named Angie, and his wife passed away a year ago. Julia, I don't know. I think she might have been from the past generation. I'm not sure. My voice is getting high because I'm not sure. His friends think he should start to get out there and stop cutting himself off from the world. And then we cut back to the school where the three, JT, Emma, and Manny, meet Mr. Simpson. And I'm actually going to count Mr. Simpson as a main character this season. And, of course, seasons moving forward. But that one was kind of up in the air for me if I was going to count him. I went ahead and counted him as a main character this season. We're introduced to Mr. Simpson, who's a teacher at the school. The three run away from Mr. Simpson, and they run into Toby. And we've got another main character. You know what? I'm going to already say this. This character, one, very underrated in the first few seasons, and two, very underutilized in every other season. He could have been such a great character for you to introduce him, and he is so smart. So smart, intuitive for such a young age. This character should have gone farther. Shame on them for what they did to him and Liberty. But anyways, we get ourselves Toby here, and guess what? Toby and JT know each other because they went to camp together. So guess what? Yay, Toby has a friend at his new school because you know what? His dad just married this other girl, Ashley. We'll meet her later. Just married her. Well, not married. They're just like living together. So they're cohabitating. And so now Toby and Ashley are living together. So he is now going to a new school. Yay. He already has a new friend in JT York. And guess what? Toby falls in love at first sight with Emma. This is common. Caitlin is engaged. Here's Caitlin to a man named Keith. Keith's not important, so I didn't grab a picture of him. But, you know, she's engaged to a man named Keith, and she's in a limo. And then she runs into Snake, Mr. Simpson. That's Snake and Mr. Simpson, same person. Snake equals Mr. Simpson. Boom, same person. Joey has a thing for fedoras, and that's a red flag. I'm kidding. But the way that this man loves them is a red flag. So he's got a thing for them. Caitlin and Joey have a slow motion eyes connect watching each other. So you know that there's a whole bunch of history there. Jordan is coming to town and wants to meet Emma tomorrow. Caitlin invites Snake, Lucy, and Joey to her wedding, and Joey makes it awkward. Joey doesn't want to go to the reunion, but Lucy talks him into grabbing drinks with them tonight. Emma told Jordan she was in high school. She's 12. So she told him she was in high school. He's 16. Yes, I'm giving you little hints here if you haven't seen it. He's 16. JT says this.
Some creep Emma met on the net. I bet he lives in Scarborough and works at a video store. I bet he's 40 and drools.
And Toby is the voice of reason.
If you're meeting a stranger you met off of the net, That could be really dangerous.
He's not a stranger. He emailed me his picture.
Guys, it's cool. Jordan's 16. He's coming here on a school trip.
School trip? It's summer.
They organized it back in the spring. He got to go at the last minute. Quit making this into something it's not.
And clearly the boys have more sense than the girls do. Caitlin and Spike are looking through old pictures. Caitlin picked out her own ring. Keith's a douche. That's literally all I wrote about Keith. Keith is a douche. All right. Lucy apparently had an accident and survived it. They bring up someone named Wheels. They bring him up quite a bit. So again, this makes me really want to go back and watch the previous generation because I want to see what Wheels did because apparently he killed somebody 10 years ago. And I want to see what happened there. I feel like I should have watched that a long time ago. And I don't know why that never intrigued me. Like, oh, interesting. He killed somebody. Spike was pregnant and kept the child, and there's Emma. Let's watch all of that, Brianna. Anyways, onward and upward. And Joey has changed, but apparently so has Caitlin. The girls come home drunk singing the only hit the guys' band ever made. The only song, not even hit, the only song is everybody wants something, you'll never give up. Everybody wants something, take your money and never give up. Caitlin gives Emma terrible advice and tells her to screw it if everyone doesn't think that she should go see Jordan. It's what she cares. And you know what? Yes, if you really care about somebody, okay. But if it's like red flag stuff that people are seeing, like the conversation that they were having at the park, like, this is weird. Why is he coming down on a school trip when it's the summer? You lied to him about your age. You met him online. You're 12 and he's 16. Even that's weird. All the things. In that situation, you should listen to the people around you. But Caitlin didn't know the full story, so she just said, screw it. If everyone thinks someone's bad, it does not matter. Oh no, Emma. And now she's going to go do something stupid. Emma emails Jordan that she would love to go visit him. That is to be continued, and we're done with episode 1. Okay, so it took me forever to get through episode 1. I promise it's not going to take me as long to get through the other episodes, but I really wanted to lay out how it goes with Degrassi. So it's really interesting. They like to slowly introduce you to characters. They'll like start them off slowly, put them in a few episodes. And I didn't really notice as much when I was younger. Like they did it really well with Darcy, just a character moving forward. I don't know why I'm talking about her. Yes, I do. It's because I'm watching her meltdown right now. They like place them in a few episodes just as supporting people, maybe not even having a line, maybe just having like one line in the whole season. And then they end up being like the main character 2 seasons later. I only say that because the phenomenon of season 1 is that they do the complete opposite. So season 1 is such a small cast. Like you really get to know these 12 people because Mr. Simpson, you really start to get to know him. So you really get to know these 12 individuals where they end up like one of those 12 is probably your favorite character because they had to develop them so much. Or, you know, Ellie, Craig, or Marco that will meet next season. But that's also the same because it was formatted just like season 1 was, where you have like a smaller cast because those are the only 3 that were really added to the main cast for season 2 rather than season 6 or 7 where you have a bajillion that's added at a time. So you slowly start to add these people and then they do so well at growing the character so much that you just end up loving who they are at the end. Because I'm going to tell you, when I made my favorite characters, I was stunned by the people that I put at the bottom. Never Sean. I'm biased towards Sean. Never Sean. Never catch me putting Sean at the bottom. Are you kidding me? Ran over a person and I didn't see that. I'm still in my top 5. Anyways, here we go. We open episode 2. Spike goes to the reunion. Terry and Ashley, 2 newly introduced main characters. Here they are, Terry and Ashley. they're giving a tour to the adults. And Joey did come. So Joey wasn't going to come to the reunion. He did end up coming to the reunion. Emma lies to Manny and says that she's not going to meet Jordan. Dodges Manny coming over, and Manny can tell something's up. Another thing I love about Degrassi, they don't try to play him stupid, really. Like, if somebody's acting weird to their face, they usually catch on to that in Degrassi. There's like very few times when a person is like stupid, like where it's like, okay, that would not happen in real life. Like if a person is like crying out for help pretty much, or if a person looks at you a little weird when they're telling you something, normally you're going to be like, okay, what's up? You know? And these people actually do that. I'm pointing to this TV like it's on, it's not on, but these people actually do that, you know? Manny can tell something's up. Joey and Caitlin are friends now. Emma gets dropped off at a hotel, which makes sense because, you know, Jordan's from out of town. And Emma waits in the lobby for Jordan. JT and Toby are visited by Manny, who figures out that Emma lied to her and went to go meet Jordan. Then they have this conversation.
This girl from BC, she meets this guy online. They hit it off. She goes to meet him. 3 days later, they find her dead, like in pieces.
That was some psycho. Emma's way too smart for that. She gets like practically straight A's.
So, this isn't school. Where would they go?
Well, we can't call her. We can't read her email.
Why not?
Joey sees douche Keith flirting with someone that's not Caitlin at the reunion. I didn't even grab her picture because she was that unimportant to me. He is telling this woman that his relationship with Caitlin isn't working. Mr. Neister sees Emma in the lobby and says that he'll take her to Jordan. And Jordan is really excited to meet her. Mr. Neister. And I just want to point out, dude's got a personal sized pizza. And he says that he's about to go feed some children. Like that don't sound right there. That don't sound right at all. So they go inside a hotel room. He knocks on the door that's attached to, you know, like the door that's attached to your hotel. And he's like, hey, boys, pizza's here. Come on out whenever. And we cut to Toby being a beast and getting into Emma's email. And then we cut back to Emma figuring out that something is not right. Something feels wrong. And she tries to get out, but she can't get the lock to work. So then she runs inside the restroom and she asks him, you're Jordan, aren't you? And, you know, you can't lie after that. Caitlin's giving a speech at the reunion. Joey and Keith argue and then fight towards the end of Caitlin's speech. Caitlin and Keith break up because, like I said, he's a douche and he's got doubts. Caitlin helps clean up Joey's wounds. Jordan pretends to leave the room. Emma tries to leave the room, but Jordan threatens her. Toby finds out that Jordan had hacked Emma's email, and that's how he was able to connect with her. Jordan records this dumb video.
Emma, your mother's at her reunion. She doesn't even know that you're missing. We have ours.
Toby, yes, Toby finds the last email and it tells them what hotel room they're at and what room. So then they go get Emma's mom, who calls the police and heads there with Snake. To Jordan being an absolute creep. I won't even show you that footage. Snake and Spike get to the room, bang on the door, screams, he covers her mouth, she bites his hand, she rolls away, and then she runs to the door, gets the door open. Snake goes and puts him in a little headlock. Snake threatens to break Jordan's neck, and I know this is a kid's show, but I would have loved to see that. It was a repeat offender, and the police take the computer because they think they can finally nail the dude. Police suggest the computer be downstairs when the Fam Bam gets it back. Emma's sorry. She ruined her mom's reunion and says she made a mistake. She's been talking to dude for 8 months, and it ends with this.
Will you remember one thing? Even when you hate my guts, I'll always try to listen. And I'll try to understand, but we have to keep talking, okay? I love you more than anything else in the world, okay? Mommy, I was so scared. Oh, I know you were, baby. I know.
Episode 3 is named Family Politics. We open with Ashley talking to Terry. Apparently, the first thing they need to do once they get to school is get Terry a boyfriend. Ashley is running for school president. Terry thinks she's a shoe-in to win because she's the only one who is running. Toby and Ashley are, well, I already explained to you their relationship. They're going to family therapy. First day of school, yay, let's do it. In comes Paige. New year, new look, new Paige. And have you seen a better entrance from a character than this?
Hey guys! Haven't seen you all summer. How are you doing? Paige? New year, new look, new Paige.
So are Paige and Ashley friends? You know what? I'm going to answer that for you right now because no, Paige isn't friends with anybody until the middle of season 2. Paige has frenemies. That's what Paige has. I mean, in reality, that's what Paige and Ashley have. And Spinner and Jimmy, here we go. Spinner and Jimmy, aka Drake, are bullies when they first step on Degrassi's screen. Yes, bullies. They are the mean people. Bully 1 and bully 2. Boom, boom. I'm going to paint the picture for you. We have a new character, Liberty. They didn't even give Homegirl a good entrance like they gave Paige, but Liberty is also bomb.com. So they got Liberty for the 7th grade, Toby, Emma, JT, and Manny. And we are with Mr. Simpson / Snake. So that's his homeroom, or those 7th graders. And then we have 8th grade homeroom. That's Ashley, Paige, Spinner, aka Gavin, Jimmy, aka Drake. That's the last time I'm going to do that. This is Jimmy. This isn't Drake. This is Jimmy. Okay? Jimmy. And that's it with Miss Kwan. Spinner spends a lot of time at detention. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. Spinner sucks in the first few seasons. I forgot how much he sucked in the first few seasons. Paige is starting a spirit squad. This is the first time you're going to hear that. Trust me, it's not going to be the last time you hear it. Paige is starting one, and it's episode 3, season 1, where she talks about starting one. And Toby wants JT to run against Ashley for school president and pins it as JT practicing stand-up comedy. So he goes for it as long as Toby does all of the work, which sounds about JT. Liberty is running for secretary and a huge suck up in the first season. Ashley and Jimmy are dating. They're cute. Boom, boom. Ashley pays JT $80 to pull out of the election during the assembly. Manny pretends to cry because Spinner won't stop bullying them. Yes, she pretends to cry and she needs to be an actress, but don't worry, she's going to figure that out later on in life. Toby and Ashley talk everything out. They're now copacetic. Is that the right word? They're now surviving together. Ashley is president, and her and Toby have found some middle ground. That is the end of episode 3. We move on to episode 4, Eye of the Beholder. We open with Terry, boom, and her dad, and we find out that she has some body issues. She calls herself a fat cow and says no one is going to want to go to the first nighttime Degrassi dance with her. Which is really sad that she feels that way because look at her. Beautiful. Spinner borrows notes from Terry. She lies to him about the dance, says that her dad won't let her go. Paige has a crush on Spinner while Spinner has a crush on Terry. Like I said, Paige doesn't have friends. She has frenemies. So, of course, Paige is not happy that Spinner likes Terry. And she is happy when Terry says that she's not going to go to the dance. We meet Sean.
Morning, people. I would like you to meet Sean Cameron. He was here for a few months last year before he moved up north. Why don't you tell the class a little bit about yourself?
No.
Okay, well, maybe once you've settled in. Why don't you have a seat?
And he's in the 7th grade homeroom. Terry tells Ashley the real reason behind her not wanting to go to the dance. Sean is supposed to be in the 8th grade, but got held back, which is expertly told through this conversation with Jimmy.
Hey, buddy. What's going on? Must be weird being back and all. Don't worry. The guys won't treat you any differently because, well, you know. All right?
Ashley wants to give Terry a makeover to make her feel better about herself. Paige invites herself since, like I said, she has no friends. And Terry looks the exact same, just with a skirt, but they say that she looks amazing. Emma gets dropped off at the dance by her mom. She's a little embarrassed, but it's okay. Paige gets Terry drunk and looks slightly upset about it, just slightly upset about it. Sean goes to the dance. Toby and JT are over at Toby's trying to watch. Can I say that on here? Paige and Terry make it to the dance. Ashley asks if they've been drinking, and Paige lies and says that she tried to stop Terry from drinking. You liar, liar, your pants are on absolute fire. Spinner asks Terry to dance. Sean gets mad that Jimmy keeps reminding him that he got held back. Emma asks him to dance to prevent him from fighting with Jimmy. Sean accepts the dance. They're cute. Terry tells Spinner that he's cute and asks him if he believes in love at first sight, and Terry's drunk and she falls. Toby's parents catch them watching. Spinner talks to Terry the next day at school and thanks her for the notes, but Paige steps right on in and tells Terry that from now on, Spinner will actually be using her notes, which is code for back off, he's mine. It looks like Paige and Spinner might be a thing now. Episode 5, Parents' Day. We open with Toby and JT, boom, boom, and we learn that Toby's mom and dad are not actually getting along, so he's worried about Parents' Day. We learn Toby spends every other weekend with his mom and spends the rest of his time with his dad. They joke about contaminating the water with E. coli. Mr. Simpson lets them know that the water's tested every day. I kind of call BS on that, but if he says so, let's move on. And now we're in Mr. Simpson's homeroom. NAK, News About Kids, is doing their morning announcements to Ashley and Emma's dismay. Emma doesn't like them because their views on separate spectrums. Squeegee kids, they say they're infecting everywhere. They're trying to take people's hard-earned cash to use on drugs and tattoos. Yeah. Emma comments on the fact that most of these children are homeless and need money for necessities. Liberty says that her dad knows the mayor and will call him to get these ragamuffins off the streets, agreeing with what the NAK was saying. Emma bumps into Sean in the hall and they have a cute glance back and forth. We go to Paige, Ashley, and Terry. We get our first Heather Sinclair name drop. Heather Sinclair, first mention of her. Ready? She has an overbite and she has a talent agent. Those are the two things that were mentioned about Heather Sinclair for the first time. Terry suggests to Ashley to get one, a talent agent, that is, not an overbite. And that makes Paige extremely jealous. Toby's mom is a casting agent. Emma and Manny are talking about NAK. Emma's still upset. She wants to take them down. Cut to Spinner telling Paige a joke she doesn't understand or isn't listening to. I think both. She comes out with, do you think Ashley's prettier than me? She's getting an agent. Yeah. Spinner says he can totally see Ashley on TV. Paige acts like a normal 13-year-old and takes that as Spinner saying that he can't see her on TV. He backpedals and says he can absolutely see her on TV. And that's that. And now she's happy and not listening to Spinner anymore. Back to Emma. So she goes to talk to the principal about how biased NAK is and how they're always plugging products. The principal informs her that NAK actually donated 18 new computers to the school in exchange for the school broadcasting their news report, no matter what the news is. And Emma has a problem with that. Emma has a huge problem with that. Paige tells Ashley about her plans to steal Toby's mom from Ashley on management. Emma is struggling to write a paper.
Okay, so let's try to imagine you're a squeegee kid.
Okay, I'm a squeegee kid.
So how does it feel being compared to a cockroach?
I'd say, hey, preppy kids, get off my case. We're people too.
Oh, please.
Toby has come up with a plan to convince his parents not to come to Parents' Day. He's forging a letter saying that he's too smart for his parents to need to come to Parents' Day because that's a thing, you know. Emma gets done with her paper 17 minutes late. Liberty is the editor of the paper at 12, which, you know, I normally would be like, that's weird, that's strange. But it's not for Liberty. I can see Liberty weaseling her way into being the editor. So she is the editor. She takes the paper. Toby tries to give his dad the letter. His dad is smarter than he looks. He said, not in my house, buddy. His dad thinks that he was lying because he's not doing good in school. Toby tells him the truth, and they talk through the difficulties of having parents who are divorced and fighting all of the time, and how much that weighs on Toby, and that they can't be in the same room without there being a fight. His dad promises him that they won't fight. And now we move on. We're at Parents' Day. Paige, Ashley, and Terry are in the girls' restroom. Paige emerges from the stall in this cutoff shirt that in that time was really considered promiscuous for a 13-year-old. Paige and Ashley fight for Toby's mom's attention, but mom's focused on Toby and being a good parent for Parents' Day. Great, perfect. Being a mom for her son. That's what she's supposed to be there for. His parents are having a hard time not fighting, though.
He's just not getting the results he should for someone so bright.
3 days late?
First I've heard of it. Toby?
Jeff? I'm talking to you. This is Parents' Day. You're the parent.
We're both the parents here, and we'll discuss it later, okay?
We will discuss it now. Why aren't you helping Toby get his work in on time? Why is he underachieving?
And they end up resolving it after Toby ends up putting them in their place, yelling at them. Boom, get it done, Toby. Emma and her mom run into Sean and his brother. Sean's brother is crapping on Emma's article hard.
If you don't get it, you're the idiot.
Emma.
Look, it's not that serious.
What? Expressing my opinion isn't important?
Well, that's all my brother's trying to do.
I could tell, and he's wrong.
I'm wrong. Tell me, Emma, is it fair or is it wrong that Sean here has fallen behind in school because we can't afford a computer at home?
He can do his homework here.
What, yeah, on the free computers, huh?
If you read the entire article, you would know that
It's a piece of garbage.
it is not garbage.
Looks like garbage to me. Smells like garbage.
And he finishes the convo with saying that there are two sides to every story, which is true. On her way out, Toby's mom tells Terry that she has an interesting look and to give her a call if she's interested. This does kind of come into play a little bit later. And what a great twist. I love it. Emma and Sean are at the computer lab. She sends him an apology email.
I'm sorry, too.
I'm a little outspoken. Runs in the family.
Maybe it's contagious. Did you hear my brother?
Looks like garbage.
It smells like garbage.
And can I love a budding couple anymore? I cannot. Mr. Simpson and Toby have a nice heart-to-heart at the end. That ended with him telling Toby to maybe spell his name right next time he wanted to forge a document. Episode 6, The Mating Game. We open with Ashley showing Terry a necklace that she got for Jimmy. Terry describes it as
romantic yet masculine, just like Jimmy.
Their class is doing scenes from Romeo and Juliet. Jimmy is playing Romeo and Paige is playing Juliet. And I already love this opening, right? Dr. Sally, the sex lady, can I say sex? Is coming to Degrassi to talk to the 8th graders, according to JT. Toby is daydreaming about Emma while Mr. Simpson is letting them know what their assignment is going to be. The 8th graders are laughing about STIs and condoms because they're in the 8th grade. Spinner asks this question, pretty much alluding to Jimmy and Ashley's relationship. He said he's got a friend who's been with his girlfriend for about 8 months. When do they know if they're ready to have sex? Dr. Sally says they have to be able to decide on their own. Jimmy gave Ashley a cute gift. Paige craps on it and makes Ashley doubt her relationship.
Look at what he made me for our anniversary. It's supposed to be his heart. Looks more like a pile of... I think it's sweet. It is so romantic.
Romantic or what? Well, you got him a $50 silver chain, right? And he got you a hunk of clay. But what do I know?
Ashley really needs to stop letting this frenemy decide her feelings and decide how she feels about her boyfriend, her relationship, her everything. Emma looks online for endangered turtles. Toby decides to do an assignment about turtles as well. They all make a plan to go to Manny's place to watch a movie about turtles tomorrow night. 8th graders are practicing their Romeo and Juliet skits. Paige goes in for a kiss with Jimmy, who looks a little confused, and Miss Kwan has the nerve to say that they have good chemistry. Way to stir the pot, Miss Kwan. Way to stir the pot, which Paige uses later when getting into Ashley's head yet again.
Anyway, just because you two have been going out for like forever doesn't mean that Jimmy's bored of you. At least he's never said so to me.
You've heard Jimmy's bored with me?
Not at all. But if I were you, I'd make sure he wasn't. Before someone with a little more chemistry comes along.
Ashley gives Jimmy a kiss and tells him that she's ready to have sex. He ends up telling Spinner and an extra, and Spinner tells him to go buy condoms, and they awkwardly do.
Well, are you sure this is the right size for you? Because we got small, medium, large, and extra large.
Yeah, those are fine.
Oh, but then you also got your choice of regular and super sensitive.
Just ring them in.
But then there's colors to think of. Because personally, I think a little bit of color spices things up.
Just ring them in, please.
Okay.
Ashley buys condoms online because both the guys and the girls must be prepared. It doesn't seem like either one of them is sure that they're ready, though, so Ashley puts Terry down by saying that she's not going to take relationship advice from someone who hasn't even been on a date when she tried to ask Ashley if she's feeling pressured to maybe have sex from Paige. Emma and Toby are now working together on the turtle project. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but they are, which gives him more time to daydream about her. Ashley's condom package arrives via bike. Her mom and her have an awkward convo.
What's in the box?
Oh, just girl stuff.
Girl stuff? What kind of girl stuff?
Mom.
Okay.
Jimmy's at Ashley's now. Toby is with JT and Manny since they're supposed to be watching a movie at Manny's, and their parents are off somewhere, so it's just them. Emma had to stay to help Liberty with some paper stuff at school, and then goes to help Sean with some homework. Sean and Emma have another cute moment when he talks about his dog that he misses. Ashley and Jimmy are kissing, and Ashley's not ready to have sex. And we all knew it. She pretty much tells Jimmy that she's jealous of Paige and the fact that she's probably ready to have it. Jimmy tells her that he's not ready to, and that he says that he doesn't want Paige. Toby is butthurt because Emma never showed up for the movie night since she was stuck at school with Liberty and Sean. Jimmy loves his gift that Ashley gave him. Emma apologizes for missing yesterday's movie night, but Toby is still butthurt. Manny lets her know Toby has a crush on her. Emma is clueless. Jimmy is pretending that Toby is the reason why Ashley and him didn't have Ashley apologizes to Terry and tells her that they decided to wait, and Ashley is now in her head because Jimmy was actually okay with waiting. Now we go to episode 7, Basketball Diaries. Open with Jimmy, Sean, and Spinner. Boom, boom, boom. At basketball practice before tryouts. There's an exhibition game. I literally had to look up what that meant because I didn't play sports. I danced when I was in high school. There's 12 spots and 15 players, so 3 are getting cut based on how well they play. This is Jimmy's love. Basketball is it. That's what he wants to do with his life. However, studying and keeping up with his work, he's not very good at. He is behind. Liberty was late. Ashley was rude about it. Ashley can give the news like a pro. Liberty writes the scripts and gets no credit, though. Liberty starts to feel used by her and Ashley's dynamic. Jimmy's a bad liar. He can't even cover up his lack of reading material.
School. That's my problem. It's totally in the way. I concentrate on English, my playing is crap. I concentrate on basketball, and I don't have enough time to do my homework. It's a no-win situation.
Got that right. It's a catch 42.
Catch 22.
Like you know. You thought you were Lord of the Flies.
Liberty confronts Ashley in the cafeteria. She wants to read her own script. Ashley doesn't go for it, so Liberty goes on strike. Jimmy just can't juggle basketball and English class, and he can't take criticism from his own coach because he's the best basketball player. Liberty thinks anyone can read a cue card, so Ashley tells her it's all hers if she thinks it's so easy. Liberty's ecstatic. Spinner takes Ritalin because he has ADHD and explains to Jimmy that pills calm him down, but if Jimmy were to take them, they would give him a whole bunch of energy. Spinner shares his last pill with Jimmy because Jimmy was up all night doing his English assignment, and you can tell that this is not going to end well. Liberty bombs on screen.
What happened to Ashley?
Liberty, we're on.
She's doing a great job.
This is just sad.
Welcome to Degrassi's special pregame announcements. Today, the Degrassi Panthers start a whole new season of basketball by biting Earl Grey. You can run, but you can't hide, Earl Grey. The prowl is on the Panthers. The Panthers are on the prowl. This has been Liberty Van Zandt filling in for Ashley Kerwin.
Ashley feels bad. Jimmy's pumped. Spinner is too. Liberty is embarrassed and is crying in the bathroom when Ashley finds her. Spinner has an impromptu halftime performance that ends with him mooning the crowd. And that's enough, Spinner. Mr. Radish. His name isn't Mr. Radish, but I'm going to call him Mr. Radish, and I didn't even get a real picture for him. This is what I have for him because every time they said his name, this is what I thought. So Mr. Radish, who's the principal, is not happy. Spinner tries to tell him that he forgot to take his pills, and now he has to take them in front of his principal's secretary from now on. Jimmy gets caught up and pushes his own teammate, Sean, because he was open, even though Sean was doing just fine. He didn't need any help. But anyways, now Sean's hurt. Ashley helps Liberty with her reading, and she killed her next video coverage. There's zero tolerance for violence at Degrassi, so Jimmy is cut from the basketball team. Episode 8, Secrets and Lies. Ashley's dad is in town, And this puts Ashley's mom in a good mood. She knows something Ashley does not know, and you can tell already. Terry has a necklace with her mom and dad's picture. Here we learn that her mom actually died. They have Lord of the Flies test in 2 days. I don't know why I thought that was important, but I put that down. Ashley's no idiot. She figured out that her mom was acting weird. Emma's got lines. Poem lines, that is. She can even make polluted oceans sound good. JT makes a paper airplane. Liberty takes the fall for it. Mr. Simpson, as is the whole class, is confused. And Liberty has a major crush on JT. Liberty picks JT as student pick of the week because he's going to be famous and she wants to be the first person to interview him. That's adorable. Sean's got lines too. Deep lines. Lines like this.
Poetry is crime. No idea how to rhyme. Stupid waste of time.
Liberty writes a beautiful poem about JT. Ashley's dad was in the military, so he's telling stories, and Paige and Terry have a crush on him. JT does not like Liberty, and he's trying to hide from her. Liberty's too good, though, and hunts him down. Ashley starts to hope for her family to come back together, and her parents still care about each other, but he's gay. And Ashley brought it up originally as a joke. Joke's on you. That's the big secret. And who knew as soon as the episode started? Literally everybody knew as soon as the episode started what was about to happen. Paige asks Ashley a question.
Have you ever wondered if maybe your dad's gay? It would explain a lot.
Is this supposed to be a joke?
No, hon, not...
Just better mind your own business for once, Paige.
But my oldest brother's gay. Terry was trying to help.
JT tries everything but telling Liberty straight up that he doesn't like her. Instead, he thinks it's a good idea to pretend that he's gay. Just no. No, JT, no. Ashley's hiding from her dad. JT goes through with this terrible plan, and it's literally what you expect. It's terrible. He's pretending to be gay. Liberty denies ever having a crush on him. Ashley and her dad have a heart-to-heart about him not telling her for 5 years. Then he explains his feelings for her mom, that he loves her, but he wasn't in love with her, and he wants to be able to figure out who he was. Ashley's dad is actually in a relationship with somebody Ashley has met, and she found out that he left the family to be with this Christopher. She doesn't understand, calls him a liar, and leaves. Liberty wants JT to come out in the school news. JT blurts that he actually isn't gay. He just doesn't like her. Her feelings are hurt, as they should be. As they should be. He was a dick. She told him that he should have been honest with her from the start. Ashley takes her anger out on Terry a lot. I don't like that. Terry's such a good friend. And Terry gives Ashley a reality check.
My mom died, Ash. She's never coming back. But you have your dad back.
Terry, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same. You want to know why? Because you have a choice. I don't. Don't make the wrong one.
Episode 9, Secrets and Lies. Jimmy's turning 14, and he thinks that that's going to make him into a man. He's also been having dinner at Ashley's, and she's getting a little annoyed by it because it's been about 8 days straight. Paige, Terry, and Ashley are looking at a quiz, and Ashley just wants some girls' time, but Jimmy is not listening to her. He shows up even though she told him that she wanted to spend time with Terry. Sean found an astrology site, and Manny thinks it's cool. Emma doesn't and is a little jealous. She explodes and has this bit.
Doesn't anyone care that we have a science quiz in, 15 minutes?
August 15, 1989.
Blah, blah, blah. I can't even think. Are you coming? I saw that.
Sean's asleep during class. JT's copying off of Liberty, and Emma thinks that she failed her test. Jimmy and Toby actually get along very well, which is cool to see on TV. Emma is me every time I need a good cry.
It's too late.
Come on, love is everything. We've got it. We've got it right in our hands. The clothes we wear, the cars we
Emma,
drive.
mind taking out the garbage? Honey, what's wrong?
Nothing.
What will I say to everyone? And what about
Her mom suggests some retail therapy. This helps Emma. Someone harasses Spike while they're shopping. She confronts him and tells Emma not to let somebody make her feel bad just for being a woman. Ashley tells Terry that Jimmy is driving her crazy because he's always around and that she's thinking about breaking up with him. Toby overhears and he kind of tries to tell him metaphorically in the hallway at school. It does not fall flat on Jimmy, and he picks up exactly what Toby puts down. Sean apologizes to Emma about astrology. Emma tells him that she was exaggerating and Emma had her first period. She was wearing a white skirt. Now we know why Emma was so yesterday. I know the feeling. Jimmy tells Ashley that she doesn't have to go to his birthday party, and of course she's going. It's his birthday. Toby tells Ashley she's making a mistake if she wants to break up with him, and she says this great one-liner.
You don't bring people into your life just to throw them away.
And my dog is staring at me, and I'm pretty sure she wants to come up here for a second. Hi. Manny and Emma go to the bathroom with Manny right behind her, holding like a paper. Paige walks in while Manny's trying to find her some extra pants. Paige gives her a pad, and you see kind of a smidge of niceness from Paige. Manny brings Emma an extra pair of extremely large basketball shorts that were in the Lost and Found. Toby and JT try to make fun of her, and she absolutely shuts them down.
Do you have a problem?
It's okay. We can just.
Aw. Did Emmy pee her pants?
No, I just got my period for the first time. Menstruation, you may have heard of it, happens to 50% of the population. Perfectly natural, nothing to be ashamed of, right, Miss Kwan?
Absolutely right, Emma.
Now, may we continue? Our book was I Heard the Owl Call My Name.
Ashley realizes that Jimmy's parents aren't there for him like her parents are, and now she realizes why he's always over at her place. His parents are always working, so much so that this newly 14-year-old has a regular pizza order, and he knows the number by heart. Jimmy tells her to just break up with him and get it over with, and instead of waiting for her to do so, he just goes ahead and breaks up with her. And she runs out of the house. Emma is petitioning for a tampon dispenser. In the girls' restroom, Paige signs and calls Sean's over to sign too. He says this cute line.
If Emma came up with it, it's got to be a good idea.
Ashley already misses Jimmy and tries to talk to him. They get back together. He says he's sorry in Canadian and he loves Ashley. Episode 10, Rumors and Reputation. We open with Emma seeing Liberty with the basketball coach. I believe he teaches math. Emma has her head a-thinking, but JT tells a joke that doesn't land with Emma because she's now staring at Liberty. She tries to ask Liberty why her and Mr. Armstrong were in the same room together. Liberty says that she had a few questions and needed extra help, then dismisses Emma. JT thinks Emma's staring at Sean, but she's looking at Sean and Mr. Armstrong talking. JT says Mr. Armstrong's nice to everyone and informs us that teachers actually aren't people. Emma thinks it's weird that Armstrong's nice to everyone. And she sees Mr. Armstrong hand Liberty what looks like from my eyes, it looked like a pamphlet, but from far away and from like a 12-year-old's eyes, it looked like a love note to her. Even the lunch lady doesn't like Spinner. Because he literally saw a bug, a whole bug in his food. And she is not trying to hear it because it's Spinner who's saying it. And absolutely no one believes him, not even his friends. Jimmy tries to help him out a little bit, but it just falls flat. Emma asks Manny if Mr. Armstrong ever touched her, Manny said no. Then Emma tells her that she saw him touching Liberty. Terry overhears them. Paige notices that Terry's been acting weird and asks her what's been going on. Terry tells Paige she can't even look at Armstrong correctly, and this is exactly how rumors get started. We see our first sight of Harper, although the only lines that she has is involving her spreading rumors, which, yeah, sounds about right. Now, Ashley's been extremely nice to Liberty. Liberty thinks that people are whispering because mics were stolen last year. Ashley tells her what the rumors have been about. Toby says what we all should be thinking about parent-teacher relationships.
This whole thing is disgusting. Just the thought of it, makes me want to take a shower.
Liberty's mortified. Emma doesn't realize that she's the one who actually started the rumor. She's now trying to track the source, and she realized that she is the source. Spinner realizes that no one believes that there was a bug because it came from him, so his master plan was to dump some bugs and let them loose in the cafeteria and wait for someone to say something. So he dumps some on Ashley's food. It literally was a stupid plan that didn't end up working, and it costed him having to then work in the cafeteria to pay off the damages that he made. Principal Radish pulls Armstrong and Liberty out of class. I mean, with the swiftness, it's absolutely amazing. This is exactly what you should be doing if there's ever a rumor going around about a student and a teacher having a relationship. This wasn't even going around for a day, and they pulled him out real quick. The whole class was laughing about Liberty and Armstrong because I guess being a potential predator is funny. I don't know. Emma ends up following them, although she doesn't open the conversation very well.
You see, I'm in the middle of it too.
Spinner, like I said, has to volunteer at the cafeteria now for 2 months, and he wears a hairnet now. Jimmy and Ashley and I got a good kick out of that. Liberty tells Emma that Mr. Armstrong's been helping her with her dyscalculia. Liberty did not want to tell anyone because it's important to her to be the best. She tells Emma that she sucks at helping people and to go help the rainforest because she's better at that. And that's how it ends. Episode 11, Friday night. We're almost done. Almost done, guys. Friday night. So we open with Sean being hot and Manny not being subtle. Sean asks Emma to hang out for the weekend. I didn't realize how much taller Emma was than Manny until this scene.
I'm not sure. But I think he asked me on a date.
Toby says this.
Hey guys. I mean girls. I mean...
Miss Kwan's having a bad day and takes it out on her 8th grade students. Spinner's got detention for listening to music in class. Emma's confused. She doesn't know if Sean was asking her out on a date or not. Now they're playing dodgeball, and she has tunnel visions for Sean and Sean only.
Sean, about tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah? Sean?
Okay, today we're gonna play some dodgeball.
Spinner tries to get Jimmy in on a plan to get back at Miss Kwan. Jimmy doesn't go for it. Can we just appreciate this line?
You two may think you're adorable, but that doesn't mean anyone else does.
Paige overhears Emma talking to Manny about Sean. We hear another thing about Heather Sinclair. Apparently, she had a nose job. Emma's crush on Sean is super apparent. Emma asks Paige for advice, who tells her that Sean did ask her on a date. Miss Kwan's late, but her, Jimmy, and Spinner joke and gives Jimmy a detention with Spinner, and now they're both going for the revenge. Sean and Emma are still good for tonight, even though...
Maybe because you tried to kill me in dodgeball. So you don't hate me?
Of course not.
So we're still on for tonight?
Absolutely, if you want to.
Oh, I want to.
He picks Emma up at 7. Emma's mom, Spike, is being a mom. She gets pictured with Sean and Emma together. Emma gets pooped on by a bird, so then she has to go back, get another outfit change, another picture, and then they're off. Emma's a vegetarian. Sean spent some time in the farm and he didn't like the way that the animals were treated or what happened to them, so he became a vegetarian. Emma thinks that she threw her wallet in the trash on accident. Sean digs through the trash, pulls out full patties. Like, people are literally throwing away full patties. I don't know who does that, but people are doing that. Emma runs away because she figures out that she actually had her wallet in her pocket the whole time. Jimmy and Spinner are still at the school 3 hours later. Spinner smacks gum into the intercom while Miss Kwan's adult class is trying to have a test. They then order some pizza for the class, which the students actually end up helping pay for. She should have just used it, went with the flow there, like this fellow was trying to do.
I will eat the chicken wing. I eat the chicken wing. I ate the chicken wing.
Then Spinner, always needing to take things too far, throws some eggs at Miss Kwan's car. Jimmy throws like one. Then they see her break down and cry, and Jimmy feels bad, but Spinner's a dick. Emma brings both pictures her mom took of them to school. Sean takes one. Spinner's bragging. Jimmy tries to play tough, knowing that he felt bad. Ashley clocks this. Miss Kwan is now taking a leave of absence. Principal Radish is now their English teacher, and no more school trips. Good going, Spinner. Come to find out, her husband had been really sick and she was working overtime. That is where we end episode 11. Now episode 12, Wannabe, aka Friendship Forever. No way. It just registered to me that I called Hazel Harper. Who's Harper? So Hazel opens up this episode. Liberty is interviewing Paige and Hazel and their newly found school-sanctioned cheerleading club, which is that Spirit Squad that Paige had mentioned before in that the third episode. Liberty asks, "What do you say to people who think cheerleading is sexist?" They respond with this.
I'd say get over it. Welcome to the new millennium.
Totally. I mean, cheerleading is such a positive thing. It's great exercise.
It builds leadership skills.
It's better than watching TV.
And it boosts school spirit. I mean, what's bad about that?
Manny wants to try out, so she does a few cartwheels.
Manny.
And she clearly must be recruited. Emma hates cheer. This is the first time you see Manny actually separate a little from Emma. Toby and JT are eating Pringles under the stairs quickly. They're looking for a prize. They need the Ace of Spades and the Ace of Clubs, and they'll win $1 million. They have the Ace of Spades, and now they're just looking for that Ace of Clubs. They bombard Liberty for her can. She tells them they're pathetic, yet she still ends up having what they need. What's up? The Ace of Clubs. It's there. Now they're all in this together. Manny does her trick again. This right here, this one's my favorite. I want you to tell me why this is my favorite.
Still amazing.
Yeah, but
Hazel's jealous. Emma's jealous. But Emma won't write an article for the paper because it's not that big of a deal. Spinner knows about the $1 million, and now he wants 10% of protection. Protection from what? Protection from himself for not beating them up. Spinner's holding onto the Ace of Clubs while Toby and JT grab the Ace of Spades. More like JT goes to go search for it. Minnie tells Paige and Hazel that Emma's taking this sexism thing too far, and now Paige and Hazel are hanging out with Manny after school. They're grading boys. Emma calls. Paige tells her to make sure Emma isn't writing the paper. Manny blows her off and makes sure she's not writing the paper, just as Paige says. Or article. She hears Paige in the background. Emma, that is. Emma hears Paige in the background, and Manny was caught in your lie. Emma's mad. JT can't find the Ace of Spades can. He's toast. Cut to Spirit Squad practice. There's 6 of them practicing right now. Hazel, she's a choreographer for the Spirit Squad. Paige is trying to make Hazel even more jealous of Manny, since Manny is the star of the Spirit Squad. Also, they think this is a toe touch.
Okay? Not bad, but let's not get crazy here. Besides, I'm sure Manny could do it better.
I don't know about that, girl.
Try.
Emma's sad because she feels like she's losing a friend, so she did end up writing that article, and Liberty loved it so much she published it even though she was super close to being done with editing. Manny takes the article personally. She's mad that Emma would call her a bimbo. Manny and Emma argue in the bathroom.
You honestly think Paige is your friend?
Is that so hard to believe? That for once someone cool likes me?
She's just using you, Manny.
No, you're just jealous.
Jealous of that pretentious wannabe?
You know the difference between you and Paige? Paige is fun. You're so boring, sometimes I want to scream.
Well, I sure hope you and Paige have fun together.
Paige, Hazel, and Manny rip Emma's article out of the Gazette, which is their school newspaper, because apparently they have 2 more cheerleaders than there were in practice, which is 8. And they need 12. And so they can't have any bad press right now. Paige is apparently head of the Spirit Squad. And when Mr. Simpson steps in to see who could have pulled Emma's articles from every single newspaper, Paige tells him it was Hazel because she didn't want Manny to be kicked out of the squad because she can do this.
Still amazing.
Yeah, but her landing.
Manny isn't happy about this, and now Paige is trying to blackmail Manny, and Manny ain't having it. Paige tries to tell her that she won't be on the Spirit Squad. Yeah, right, she's the best of the Spirit Squad, as Emma tells her. Emma sees the exchange and is happy that her friend hasn't changed too much. Emma goes to Manny, apologizes to her about calling her a bimbo, and lets her know that she's too good for Paige to not let into the Spirit Squad. And yay, they're friends again. Episode 13, Cabaret. Terry's learning some protection spell for a presentation. Ashley's playing the piano and talking down on Terry's interests. What's new? What's new? Ashley plays a song she wrote, and it's actually pretty good. Terry likes it, but thinks it's slow. She also doesn't see how it's a duo. I don't either. It kind of just sounds like Ashley playing the piano and singing a solo, and Terry just kind of standing there swaying. There's a lunchtime cabaret. That's what they're practicing for. 2 girls and a keyboard is Ashley and Terry's girl group name, and Paige wants in, but Terry doesn't know how to stick up for herself and how to ask Ashley for what she wants, so she tries to beat around the bush. Emma and Manny are putting on an environmental dance. Guess who idea that was? Sean wants no parts. Toby still has a crush on Emma, so he volunteers to be the hunter for them. Terry's presentation is a Ouija board. I don't mess with Ouija boards. And she got Spinner's first dog's name right. So now people are kind of thinking that she's got the stuff. Ashley believes in the premonitions. Paige comes up with a plan to trick Ashley to let her into the group. But Ashley doesn't believe that Terry really has powers because she overheard Spinner telling her the dog's name before, so she knew that Terry had actually already known the answer to that. And she calls Terry an amateur until Manny twists her ankle after getting a prediction from Terry about getting a twist in her life. So now Paige is in the group. Terry can't believe her own powers. Can we appreciate the reaction that Ashley's good but slow song gave Paige?
Shaping the clauses, holding key thoughts until the very end of your sentence structure. And this is going to be very important for...
Since Manny twisted her ankle, Manny's the hunter, and Toby is now the second dancer with Emma. Paige thinks this about the song.
It has promise, but right now, Sounds like a bunch of cows dying.
Paige and Terry go to Mr. Simpson to help add some synthesizers and bump up the tempo. And Mr. Simpson sings that one song from Everybody Wants Something, that song. Emma's dancing. She keeps on getting headbutted by Toby because it's just not working very well. But he's trying. Give poor Toby his props. He's trying. Ashley walks in on Terry and Paige singing the new fast version of her song. They agree to consult the oracles. They get the high priestess, and Terry says that means that they should go with the new version. Who guessed that? Ashley did research, and Terry lied. You liar. The high priestess means you should stick with the old. And now Terry actually stands up for herself, and she tells Ashley that Ashley never likes her ideas or what she wants to do. Emma's first up, and yeah, it was a dance. They still headbutt, and Manny shoots Toby. People laugh. Sean told them to shut up. Terry wants to do the new version, so they go on without Ashley as Paige and Terry. They perform Ashley's song, Upbeat, with a dance. People love it. Ashley's watching from the outside. Emma thanks Sean for standing up to everyone, and she kisses him on the cheek, and that just breaks Toby's heart. See, look at his face. Ashley tells Terry and Paige that they were great and that their versions rocked and that the audience loved them. And now they are a group again, but this time their name is PMS. And Terry's not going to do readings anymore. Episode 14, Under Pressure. Sean is working on a motorcycle and his brother's quizzing him. Sean's mom called. She's not drinking anymore and she wants to talk to Sean about moving back with her husband. His brother told him not to worry about their mom and to keep his nose down and get good grades. JT's melodramatic. He's telling Toby that the media immersion class is going to kill him. Sean wants Emma to help him study. Liberty wants Mr. Simpson to know she's ready. Actually, she's more than ready. Sean's on edge. So are the upstairs neighbors. Spinner refuses to review any kind of homework. Miss Kwan's back, and it's apparently flu season. Sean doesn't want Emma to see his place on the inside. He runs inside to grab his books, and his brother pulls up in the motorcycle.
Here. New report for your school newspaper? Life on the other side of the tracks?
No, I'm waiting for Sean. We're studying together tonight.
Oh, yeah? What do you think? You're gonna be a good influence on him or something? Because you are. He hasn't gotten into trouble this year. That's good. So thanks.
Trouble? What do you mean?
Don't worry about it. It's in the past. It's a different kind of kid now.
And now Emma and Sean are studying. Sean calls Emma Liberty because of the mnemonic devices that she's using. Emma brings up the different kind of kid comment, literally the first chance that she gets, because she cannot hold a secret or keep anything in. And Sean tells her that he got into a fight and permanently deafened a kid in one ear about a year ago. And he said he's not proud of it, and sometimes he loses his cool, but he's working on it. Sean's nervous for the media immersion test, and he actually ends up timing out of the test. He's sure he failed, and now he wants to be left alone. Spinner tries to get sick. Spinner gets a 51% in one of his classes, and he's proud about that. Jimmy said a joke to Sean, and Sean pushes him into a locker, and now...
I'll see you after school.
Spinner almost succeeds at getting sick, but then they make this joke.
What are you doing? I don't want that gunk in my mouth.
Not going in your mouth.
You know what? I'm feeling a lot better. All of a sudden. Really?
Miss Kwan tries to give him a pep talk, and he ends up doing better than he thought he was going to do. Mr. Simpson tried to give Sean a pep talk. This one wasn't as successful. Jimmy is ready to fight Sean, and now Sean brings up Jimmy getting cut from the basketball team, and any sympathy Jimmy had for Sean is now gone. He's ready to fight. So they fight in the alley. Emma tries to get in the middle of it. Sean pushes her to the ground and she backs out of the alley, and then Sean leaves. Ashley's not happy about the fact that Jimmy got into a fight in the first place. And now Spinner is actually sick. I guess karma caught up with him there. Shouldn't have been trying to get out of test taking. Sean aced everything he did end up doing on the test and ended up getting the best grade that he ever had before he tried to apologize to Emma. But Emma is not having it, and Emma and Sean are over for now. And now we have our last episode, episode 15, Jagged Little Pill. Last day of the 8th grade for Ashley, Terry, Paige, Jimmy, and Spinner, and the 7th grade for Emma, Liberty, Manny, Toby, JT, and Sean. Ashley can only have one person over a night since the parents are going to be out of town. Paige invites herself over, even though Terry's already coming over. Ashley wants Jimmy to come over and is worried because he's not like pushing himself to try to go over there. Ashley ends up winning student of all students, and she thinks it's lame. I don't know. It's kind of cute, I guess. Toby finds hope again in being with Emma, so they invite Sean over to hang out. Toby and JT do. To get him to go, JT tells him that Emma will be there. Toby and JT bomb something inside the house, like literally, boom, bomb something inside the house. And JT hits on Paige for the first time. Paige invites Hazel over, and now Ashley has 3 people over, and now Sean's over. So Toby has 2 people over. JT wants Sean to share his expertise on how he gets girls. Sean tells him to just act like himself. JT paid for ecstasy and wants him, Toby, and Sean to take it together. Sean tells him he'd cut it for them, takes it downstairs and tells Ashley, and switches it out for some aspirin, and he tells Ashley to flush it down the sink. Paige tells Ashley to live a little, so she calls Jimmy over. Then Ashley takes the ecstasy pill. The placebo effect is real.
Toby, I'm floating on a fluffy white cloud. Right. Can't you feel it? How can you not feel it? I'm starting to.
Liberty, Manny, and Emma are over to see Toby, and Ashley's on drugs, even though she told Sean that Toby, who's just a year younger than her, was too young for it. And she sees Liberty.
You're not Jimmy and Spinner. Unless they had a sex change. Liberty! I didn't invite you. How'd you know? Was I sending out psychic vibrations?
No. JT and Toby called.
Yeah, and I'm the one inviting too many people. Liberty, I have wanted to tell you this for forever, but I get you. You're like me, only sort of not, you know?
Ashley wants to dance and party, and she breaks a vase. And now Ashley's having a big party. And she tells Jimmy that she took E by singing the alphabet. Emma has officially broken up with Sean. Ashley kisses Sean. Ashley cheated on Jimmy while he was downstairs. Jimmy tells Toby that he didn't take the E. Toby tells him that Sean must have switched it. Jimmy runs upstairs to confront Sean, and he sees Sean living the same room as Ashley, who's looking like this.
Sean,
Jimmy! Oh!
Sean leaves and Ashley goes on a rampage. She tells Jimmy that she should have broken up with him on his birthday and that he's not enough for her and that he doesn't have what Sean has. She tells Paige that she's a huge hag in her personality and her looks, and she wonders why people don't want to party with her anymore. After she says that, Ashley doesn't remember anything about that night. Spinner drops off Jimmy's stuff and tells Ashley that Jimmy doesn't want anything to do with her anymore. And that's the end of season 1. Okay, let's do this really quickly. The couple updates and rank. So clearly my number 1 couple this season. I mean, none of the couples this season were good. Emma and Sean were my number 1. They were a solid, cute couple until he shoved her. I didn't like that. I didn't like that they made him do that. I didn't like that they did that to their relationship because they built up their relationship as like this cute, pure relationship, and then they just make him shove her, and that's the end of that relationship. And then, so the next one, Ashley and Jimmy are very up and down. They're going to be up and down for the entire series. So they're my number 2. You could tell that they really care about each other, but they clearly don't belong together. They don't need to be together. They need to find other people. Technically, Paige and Spinner were a thing, but Paige was pretty much using Spinner the entire season, so they weren't technically a couple. I don't consider them a couple. That's why they're ranked number 3. The crushes were Terry and Spinner crushing on each other without Paige getting in the way of this. It would have actually been kind of cute. I don't think Terry would have had like a problem putting Spinner in his place, especially after they gotten like comfortable with each other. And Toby was crushing on Emma. Emma wants no parts of this. Liberty was crushing on JT, and that wasn't really developed a lot, but we're going to see kind of more of that. And then we saw the beginning of JT crushing on Paige. So here are my main character ranks. Let's go through it. Before I start, they did not have my man Sean as a main character on the main poster for the show, and that in itself is a crime. Let's move on. So out of the 12, let's start with number 12. Number 12 is Paige. I hated her. I hated her this season. She's last. That's sad. That's really sad for me. I like Paige normally, not this season. The way that she would instigate every single issue in her friend group was obnoxious. She didn't have friends. She doesn't like people unless they're her. She only likes herself. That's it. And she's mean. She's manipulative, and that was Paige this season. Right behind her, or just a little bit in front of her, is Spinner. He also sucks, and he was a bully. He wasn't very funny either. So the only reason why I would put Paige last is that Spinner wasn't like purposefully mean to his friends. They talked to each other, but they weren't like purposefully trying to take each other down. All right, number 10 is JT. Looking back on the show, I don't know why JT used to be one of my favorite characters. Even in the later seasons, I've looked, and when I do my pyramid, I think I'm going to startle myself with how low JT's going to end up being in every single pyramid. And I used to have him in like my top 3 characters. He's number 10. In this one, he was just really immature. He's a jerk this season. I don't know. The way he treated Liberty just wasn't okay. I didn't like that. And then the pretending to be gay and doing all of that stuff, he literally was doing all of this stuff, pretending to be gay. And that's just weird. I don't like it. Okay, so number 9, I have Emma. Emma was annoying. She was so annoying when she was younger. I mean, she's kind of annoying when she gets older too, but you learn to love it. And when she's younger, it's just annoying because you don't really know. She's always arguing, always fighting with somebody, can't really see anybody else's side until like they like have to like put her in her place for her to want to see somebody else's side. And I don't know, you shouldn't be like that. I mean, it's usually for a good cause, so I can't really be mad. It's just her privilege shows a lot. That's all. Number 8, we have Mr. Simpson. I mean, I don't have a problem with him. You just don't really have much on him. Like, he's a teacher and he's there. Cool. We have number 7, Jimmy. There's nothing really wrong with Jimmy. like he's a good boyfriend and he's nice to his friends for the most part. But him and his best friend are the biggest bullies in the school. And he clearly isn't a good influence on his friends sometimes, as he, like what happened with Spinner and convincing him to give him his last of his meds. There's just better characters this season. Number 6, surprisingly, is Manny. I only have her this low because they haven't really done much with her right now. She's just Emma's like sidekick. But trust me, that will change. Oh, that will change. Okay, number 5, I told you. Sean will always be in my top 5. Sean is number 5. I mean, like he pushed Emma and he's in my top 5. Like, I don't know. That's probably, like I said, probably has something to do with me. I don't know. So, Sean, it's the toughness that you just kind of see the soft person underneath. They open him up a little through like that relationship with Emma, so you kind of get to see his softer side there, but then you also get to see him trying to be all protective, and I don't know, I just, you can see like the different layers that they're trying to do with the character, and the actor playing it does very well at playing this character. So number 4 was Ashley. She's bratty a lot of the time. She doesn't know how to be a good friend to Terry a lot of the time. But, you know, most of the time, Ashley does end up coming back and making things right when she needs to. She learns from her mistakes. She may let Paige make her a bit insecure, but she always realizes how special she is at the end of it all. Of course, that was until the very last episode. They really just shot her straight down for season 2 now, didn't they? I don't know where Ashley's gonna land on my season 2, but she's number 4 for season 1. My third one is Liberty. Yeah, I love her. I think she's meant to be that character that you just don't like. And I think when I was younger, I didn't really understand Liberty all that much, even though I feel like I resonate a little more with Liberty than I would with any other character. Not like the overambitious side, but like the loving school part at that, at that age. But they really tried to do that to Liberty, and it had the opposite effect on me. I absolutely love Liberty. She's ahead of the curve. Liberty makes the curve. She's not even ahead of the curve. She makes the curve. And she was the only one who really went outside of her own bubble to make friends. So you saw Liberty talking to like Ashley, and Ashley was in the grade above when all you ever saw was like the 8th graders hanging out with each other and the 7th graders hanging out with each other. My number 2 spot, who's surprised by Toby being my number 2 spot? He surprised me when I came back to rewatch this. Toby surprised me. This one, I was pleasantly surprised watching Toby. He helped with the Predator. He's always been the voice of reason for his group of friends. Like he's on top of it. He's got no negativity towards his friends. Like he just wants to help them out. There are some friendship groups in this show that are frenemies. Toby's not a frenemy. Toby's a friend. And then the number 1 is the number 1 queen friend herself, Terry. Okay? Best friend. She's always there to help her 2 self-centered friends, Ashley and Paige. She's not manipulative. She's not mean. She's usually pretty optimistic. She's a very underrated character, and I'm sad at what they end up doing to her because she is my number 1 in season 1. But hey, it is what it is. Overall, this was like a solid group of main characters. They all brought something new. Their main cast was more racially diverse before it was cool to be racially diverse, and I like that. Although it does get better. Like the racial diversity does get better. It does. But what they do with the character is kind of a little weird. But diverse nonetheless. I just want to say again that the 3 bottom people shook me. The 2 top people, one of them shook me, Toby. It's also the fastest year that we'll see, so buckle up, get ready for the ride. Don't forget to subscribe, press that notification button so you know when the season 2 is going to drop. Hey guys, I will see you later.